Hello everyone, this is Xephyr here, and welcome back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne on PC. Today we're going to be taking on some optional quests. Pretty crazy, huh? I know I'm way behind on doing those, so I decided that today we'll be taking that on. Part of the reason is because I've been doing Arc-Tempered Namiel like once a day. I don't want to burn myself out on it. As much as I enjoy the Arc-Tempered hunts, they do take a while, and they are nerve-wracking. And because I don't want to burn myself out, I've only been doing maybe one a day. I think I have 7 tickets. I think I need a total of 9, so 1, maybe 2 more hunts and I should be done with it. But we're obviously not doing that today. We're going to do some optional quests to try and get caught up on some of the content that we haven't done, and didn't decide which ones I want to do. It would be good probably to work on the stuff that will get us things. Capture a Tigrex, huh? Oh, this just gets us a room decoration. No, thank you. Let's do something that'll get us something a little more useful. Oh, that could be good. What's this one? Ooh, yes, no, this. We're gonna start with this. Okay, Secret of the Ooze. I hope that's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle joke. I think it is. That's pretty great. Alright, it's capture a Brachydios. The client is my plans are top secret. Not sure how that's a client, but okay. I'd like to experiment with that peculiar slime that Brachydios secretes. Oh, it'll be 100% safe, don't you worry. And if you help, I'm sure it'll help our ancient tree some too. It unlocks a botanical research slot on first time completion. Cool. Seems like a good one to take on. We're gonna have to change our weapon then. Which unfortunately I have not yet been able to layer. We're going to use the Safi's Aqua Blade. Do I want to use this? You know what? I already have it layered, and it's pretty weak to ice as well. We're going to go ahead and go with the Frost Blade just because I've already layered it. The reason I haven't been able to layer the Aqua Blade yet is because I want to layer it as the Namiel longsword, which means I need tempered Namiel parts, and I'm currently out of those. So I need to go hunt a tempered Namiel in the Guiding Lands, which I know I've hunted before on camera, so I can do it off camera. I just haven't taken the time to do it. I've been playing a lot of Persona 5, I'm not going to lie. That and Animal Crossing, so I have not been devoting nearly as much time to Monster Hunter. I've been doing my daily bounties, and I've done some gathering in the Guiding Lands, but just gathering. I haven't done a lot of actual monster hunting out in the Guiding Lands. And I mean, this will all change soon. I'll go back to I'll really get back into Monster Hunter. I've been playing it a lot. I mean, look how many videos I have on it. And I mean, I've been playing it that much for basically 2 years straight. So it was about time for me to want to take an interest in some other games. And it's not like I've completely dropped it or burnt out. I just literally have had interest in playing a few other things. So I'm sure I'll be hardcore back into Monster Hunter pretty much constantly within, you know, another week or two. Trying to look. My feed seems a little choppy. It is. Alright, well, that stinks, but there's not a lot I can do about it at this instant, but I might have to do a cut after this quest to adjust my settings if it keeps up like this. Which kind of blows, but whatever. Can't do much about it once I've started. I actually rebooted my computer before even starting, so it shouldn't be anything with that. I did that early. Yeah, it looks really choppy. Okay, well, I am sorry about that. I know my dialogue won't be choppy at least, but I am gonna have to do something to fix the feed after, so we'll just have to have a shortcut while I fix that. I think I know what I need to do, and hopefully it works, but I don't know yet. I won't know until we're done here. Oof. I'm sure part of my issues that I've been having with recording this as well as Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably because well, Final Fantasy VII's this is probably not the issue. But at least with Monster Hunter, it could be because I record and play on the same PC. I don't have a secondary PC, and I may have brought this up before. And I know a lot of people, at least when they're streaming, will have a PC that actually runs the stream, and then they'll play the game on a separate PC. I don't have the money for that. Nor do I really want to buy a secondary PC just to run the recording. So, I just kind of have to deal with it and just have to play around with the settings to get it the way it needs to be. And recently I tried to increase the quality of the recording, and probably those changes are what are causing the issue. Oh crap, I should have rolled. Angry boy is angry. Shoot. Again, I should have noticed that. I really don't like being around these stupid Gastodon because they like to headbutt you and ignore the actual monster that is the real threat. And when they ram you, you go flying. Which obviously sucks. Oh, Oregon's here. The Gastodon hit me. Why? I don't know. That's okay. Oh, crap. So I believe today, or I guess tonight into tomorrow, is the last day of the Full Bloom Fest, and we'll be going back to just normal limited bounties and no more decoration in the hub, which I guess I should probably be taking my quests out of the hub rather than normal Celiana since the fest is still going on. But not that it really matters. I believe well, I haven't done every event. The good news is, because of the delay, I've mentioned this before, because of the delay on the next free title update due to the current crisis in the world, all, or at least most, event quests should be staying live. Did I really just get bumped off of him by a Gastodon? Is that what happened there? No, that's my Gastodon. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so the ones that I haven't done yet, I can still do at a later date. The ones I'm primarily interested in doing that I haven't done are the crown quests. But they've not been a priority for me because I have too many other things I want to do in the game when I am playing that hunting for crowns just is not an interest of mine at the moment. I know I probably should make the Uragan leave, but it's not like this is a difficult quest as it is, so maybe I'll just make it harder for myself by having them both here and have them annoy the heck out of me. There was something else I wanted to talk about on camera that I don't remember what it is now. I know I wanted to talk about Arc-Tempered Namiel. Oh, I remember. It was about Arc-Tempered Namiel. I was actually surprised, and I guess I shouldn't have been, but I'm surprised by how many people don't like... Is it just missing me? What is going on? I just stayed stunned as it rolled around. Anyway, I probably shouldn't have been surprised, but I was. The number of people that dislike Arc-Tempered Namiel's armor. And there's a couple of different reasons why they dislike it. The one that should be obvious is because it's not meta. Which it's always ridiculous to me when people just expect every single new monster release to give you a new meta armor set. We just get too OP. Our current meta is already OP enough. If they released something even better, what happened that made me not... As I said, when you talk when you're playing, your focus is just the worst. I don't even know what happened that I was not able to keep moving. Like, I went to pick up the shiny, but my character didn't pick up the shiny and also stopped moving. Was there a big puddle there that I didn't see? I don't know. Anyway, if they just kept giving us a new meta with every single monster release, we'd just be unbelievably OP. Like, if the meta just kept getting better and better and better. And I mentioned this when I looked at the armor set. I'm glad that they don't do that, and that instead we're getting variety. And I think the idea that they are having is they want us to have a variety of options for different ways to play. You know, people like playing a different way, and some people don't use the meta because the meta can be dangerous. They'd rather use supplemental skills. The problem is the vocal minority, I hope it's the minority, always just tell people, this is the meta, use the meta, if you don't use the meta, you're doing it wrong, blah, 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 hit it till it dies. And the reason that's an issue is because it really has created this standard where everyone just uses the same equipment and the same abilities. And I mean, I'm kind of the same. Like, I don't really use that many defensive skills, but it's partially because I don't need them. I'm not amazing at the game. Like, I'm not a speedrunner or anything, but I'm good enough that I don't need a bunch of defensive skills to succeed at quests and to do well. You know, I still faint on occasion and, you know, make mistakes and screw up and stuff, but, like, I don't need defensive skills to survive and be successful. So yeah, I mostly use offensive skills as well, but I'm not running all the true metal. Like, I'm not running Master's Touch, and like I will use things like Evade Window and Handicraft and other stuff like that, stuff that a lot of people just don't use. But I still will admit I am kind of part of the problem in the fact that most of the armor sets I make are just offensive based, even if they're not the meta. They're still pretty much just straight offense. And in some ways, I think Capcom's trying to change that by giving us more cool armor sets that have other skills for people to try out different things. But because of the vocal, what I hope is minority, people still won't use it. Like I said, people were complaining that Namiel's set is just not good because it's got these skills that no one will use and all that. And I wish people would use it, but at the same time, I feel like Capcom's not helping themselves. They're shooting themselves in the foot if their idea is they want variety, because they're also giving us weapons that no longer need handicraft and things so that people can more easily use Master's Touch and be fine with it. And I don't know. It's I was surprised that people were just hating on it so much because, you know, Stamina Surge is only useful for a few things, and even the things that I said it was useful for, I guess people still don't use it. And yeah, it was truly surprising. But the thing that was really surprising was there were people who were even saying that it didn't look good. Aesthetically, they were not impressed with the appearance of the armor set. I was like, what? It looks so cool. Like, it looks absolutely amazing, and I wish it was layered because I would like to use it, at least the appearance. And once I'm done farming it, I'm going to make the armor set and try and make a useful set of it that I can use, so I can use the appearance of it and, you know, enjoy it. Even if it, like I said, even if it's not meta, I'm still going to use it because it looks cool. But I was absolutely surprised that there are people that think it does not look cool. It blew my mind. I probably shouldn't have been surprised. I really shouldn't have, since, you know, I go on the community pages and stuff, and I see that people really, if it's not meta, they don't want to use it, but still. Oh, crap. Oh, good, I didn't get hit. I don't know, can I cap him yet? I guess let's try. If I can find... Oh, I didn't bring... I'm an idiot. And when you go on a capture quest, it helps to bring traps. And I didn't. Oh. I'm sorry. I have the sniffles, apparently. I did not mean to do that into the mic. He does not look like he's weak yet, but that can change in like half a second. The main reason I didn't use Demon Drug and stuff was because I realized it was a capture quest and I don't want to go too ham and end up failing the quest. Oop. Also, the more that I use this armor set, the more I like it. Not for the skills, literally just for the appearance. I really, really like how the Raging Brachydios armor looks, and then mixed with the... Is it ingot? Is that what I'm using? I don't remember. But the kind of like Dark Knight looking ore armor that I have layered. Oh, I think aesthetically it looks so amazing. I like the skills on it too. Like, I'm pretty efficient with my quests and stuff, and my survivability is good, but it looks so cool. And honestly, that's my goal. It's all about that fashion hunting, because people kill these things naked, so it's totally possible. Like, the skills are helpful, but you don't need them. Man, what am I doing? Okay, now he's weak, so while he goes back to his little hidey hole, let's go actually grab our traps. Probably actually take what the quest gives us. Yep. I guess I'll grab the cool drinks just so I'm not taking damage. Okie doke. Oh, I'm so sad that that is running so poorly. Alright, well, I'll try and fix it, like I said, after this quest. I'll do a cut, and I'll try and do what I need to fix it. I hope what I think it is the fix, because I don't want to have to play around with it too much, because I was actually excited to record. And actually, the funny thing is I started recording, and it was just straight up not working, and I was like, oh, maybe I need to reboot my computer, and I rebooted it, and it was working, but now I'm seeing that it's stuttery, so it's like, so I really hope it's a quick thing, because I really don't want to... You know, Bracky, you could have just... he could have just not stopped here. Anyway, I want it to be quick, because I would like to actually record, and this is actually probably going to shorten how much I get to record, because I have to deal with this. Are there any, Still looking for giant platinum fish. I don't see one in there that looks giant. They look pretty small. I should have checked when we went back to the eastern camp as well. I believe, and I don't remember if I've mentioned this, but I believe I only have 2 giant fish from Base World to have all the endemic life from Base World. One's the giant variation of the gastronome tuna, and the other one is the giant version of the platinum fish. I believe that's all I have left from Base World endemic life. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain I'm correct. Huzzah! Also, another fun fact, I've done the increased reward from the Steamworks so much that I have a max amount of Mega Potions in my storage box. I have 9,999 Mega Potions just sitting there. Which is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's a little sad. No cool rewards here. No palliums or anything. That's okay. Almost up to 200 for Master Rank. That's pretty great. The Botanical Research Center has been upgraded. You can now cultivate more items. I believe I know what this added, and it's a little sad that I waited so long to do it. Okay, so I'm going to cut real quick. I'll be back in a moment, and then we'll check out what our reward was from that quest, and we'll take on another optional quest. So I am sorry for this cut, but I'm going to try and fix the video feed. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so hopefully this runs better. I don't know if it will or not, but hopefully it does. So we'll see. Alright, so we've read this before. Ah, yes, there it is. Okay, so by doing that quest, we now can have 4 items at the Botanical Research Center, and it's a little sad that it took me this long to actually do this, because, like, really? Why? Why did it take me so long to do this? We'll just throw the nullberry on there, because that's a useful thing to harvest, but now we can have 4 items, 5 lines of, what is it, 10? Yeah, 5 lines of 10 items in the harvest box. So Oh, I should have saw that it says out of 50, right? So we can get 50 total items in the harvest box, and we can have 4 different items being harvested. So it's pretty great. It's sad that I waited so long to do that, but you know, I really put off doing optional quests. So next, let's we don't have to worry about bounties or anything. I already have them done for the day, as well as the Steamworks. So let's go ahead and head into the Gathering Hub, because I really should be running my quests from there so that we can see the beautiful Gathering Hub while it's still here. This is probably the last video I'm going to record during the Full Bloom Fest, so unless I find time to do one tomorrow. I'm trying, and the worst part is I'm trying to watch the recording while I'm also playing to see if it's stuttering. That's really difficult to do. I'm going to watch the video because I want to see if it stutters. As far as I can tell, it looks okay. I guess I'll see after when I'm editing the video, but let's see what else we have for optional quests here. Alright, post a quest. So we already looked at what we had in 3-star. I don't think there's anything else for us to run. We could get the Challenger Mantle upgrade, or we could get some stuff for our house, but let's see if there's any. I really want to finish off the canteen, so let's see if there's anything for the canteen. It's just a special ticket. Thunderproof. What do we got here? Apothecary Mantle, Immunity Mantle. Really? Do I not have... Alright, I'm not seeing anything for the canteen, surprisingly. That might mean that we just need to collect items from the regions. So, I guess we will go for the Challenger Mantle. We'll just start at Southeast Camp. We'll switch over to our Blast Weapon, because it looks cool. Does it have the right pennant? No, we gotta change the pennant out. One of my gathering sets has the Safi pennant still on this weapon, because I set it before we had layered weapons, so I still have to change it. I just keep forgetting to resave the set after changing the pennant. Shouldn't need any of this. We're not gonna have to worry about capturing. Alright, let's go. So this is a Tigrex and a Radobaan. Unfortunately, I totally forgot to read the description and stuff, as I seem to forget sometimes. I think I'm seeing stutter. Yeah, I am. That stinks. Okay. Well, we're going to have to just stick with it for now because I don't know how to fix it. And I will just have to figure it out after this video. So this will probably be the last quest I do for this video, unfortunately. I wanted to do more, but until I figure out what the heck is going on and why my recordings are stuttering, there's not a lot I'll be able to do. What's going to be really funny is if I find out that it just happens to be how it looks on the program, and it actually isn't stuttering, and you're all just sitting there being like, what is he talking about stuttering? But it looks smoother than the last quest, so I think it is actual stutter, and I'll just have to figure it out. Always sucks. No, there you are. Oops. Totally thought I dodged the second part. Oh, crap. The second part of it somehow, but I did not. I also thought I dodged. Oh, I did sort of dodge it. I got a semi-stagger. That was weird. That's okay, though. Happens. I haven't bought a Radobaan in a long time. I love that using the Plunder Blade Shadow was able to make him screw up his roll. That's the best. I also love the wings coming out of his Safi'jiiva armor. I need to change out his Palico armor because we've been using that for a bit, and there are some new ones that we can check out and use. But I just like the Safi Palico armor so much that I just don't feel like swapping it out. Man, I wonder if I was having this stutter issue during Arc-Tempered Namiel. I haven't edited that video yet, and I wasn't paying as close attention when I recorded it because I really had to focus. And I really wonder if that video also had this problem. If it didn't, then it's going to really make me wonder what the heck has changed. Because I changed those settings a week or two ago. Did he not fall over because I've mounted him? That's weird. Because now he's running away. You can't get away from the Gajalaka. Wait, but just... I feel like he's ignoring the things that are happening to him at the moment. That was awesome, and I'm so glad I did it. Crap, but now we got stuck behind the tail. That's not good. Oop. That's my bad aim. Okay. Gotta love Radobaan. He's not tough, because he's, you know, one of the lower tiered monsters, but he is really cool. I know he's just an Uragan, but with bones, but I just think he's much cooler than Uragan. Are you close enough to a wall? Is this gonna work? It did. Oh, surprising. I'm gonna kind of waste it because I'm gonna stand here and pick up stuff, but whatever. Oh, I missed this Rotten Vale music as well. I haven't done a quest out here in a bit. This music is so good. Did he get knocked over by the Plunder Blade again? What's going on with you, Radobaan? You're falling over from some silly stuff. Oh, you're starting to roll. Whoopsies. And you fell over again. Oh, he's having a bad day. Oh crap, we're about to have a bad day. Absolute power is here. I didn't fall down that time. No! I'm gonna finish off my buddy here. Oh crap. My bad. Ah! Tigrex, leave me alone. I will fight you in a little bit. Alright, let's go finish off the Radobaan. Oh, maybe piercing pods just don't allow the fallover for him because they hit multiple times and stuff. I don't know. You can get angry all you want, Radobaan. You're still gonna die. Eh. Oh, I love the slinger sometimes. I don't like the clutch claw, but I do enjoy the slinger. Did he poo while he was rolling? Is that what just happened? Alright, that's one monster down. Now we get to go after the Tigrex. Ooh. Aw, just a standard wyvern gem? I was excited for a moment. I always like getting the rare materials. Even when there's stuff we don't really use that often anymore, it's still nice to get. Eventually, I'm going to go back and make equipment. I started making the greatswords. Not that I plan on necessarily using them, but because I wanted to start filling out the inventory with the other weapons and stuff. Hopefully to help when choosing weapons so they don't have the weird current sorting that they have where, like, you suddenly get to a point where longswords just take up the entire box. And, I mean, it takes a lot to make the other weapons, because there's a lot of monsters I don't fight anymore, like low-rank Puke. Like, I don't fight that. Maybe I should. It would really make me feel strong. Oh, crap. Tigrex, you're a naughty boy. Let me grab some slinger ammo here. I swear I hit the button and it did not fire. Sorry, man. Aw. Going after this tail. Oop. He is angry now. Angry boy. Oh, this brings back memories. It just reminds me of playing Freedom 2 and Freedom Unite. I mean, I've been playing Monster Hunter since the first Monster Hunter game, but the first game, I don't get me wrong, I've always loved Monster Hunter ever since the first game, but the first game was definitely harder for me to enjoy than later entries. Part of it was the terrible weapon controls. I don't know if I've talked about this before, so let's talk about it. For anyone who doesn't know, the original Monster Hunter on the PlayStation 2, the weapon controls were not mapped to the triangle, cross, circle, and square buttons. They were instead mapped to the right analog stick. I have no idea who thought that would be a good idea or why, because it was a terrible idea. And so what you had is you controlled your character's movement, as always, with the left analog stick. You attacked with the right analog stick, and you moved the camera with the D-pad. Now, for anyone who's played Monster Hunter on the PSP, you should understand why this is terrible. The PSP had a legitimate reason for having to have those terrible controls, the fact that it only had one thumbstick. The PS2 didn't have this reason. Literally the reason is they decided to put the weapon controls on the analog stick. So it's difficult to move your character around and keep the camera on the monster when you use your left thumb for both movement and the camera controls. So it's just, oh god, it was so awful. And I'm not gonna lie, part of the reason that I was super happy that Monster Hunter was coming back to the PlayStation and, you know, Xbox as well, and PC, is because I could have two analog sticks. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that with the Switch, so with Generations Ultimate, you had proper controls. But remember that Monster Hunter was on the PSP, and then the Nintendo 3DS for many, many, many years, and that meant unless you bought the like an adapter, which I don't even know if they ever sold in the U.S. I had to import one from Japan, but unless you bought the adapter that you put your 3DS in that gave you a second analog stick, you only had the one, and so you either had to use the touch screen D-pad with your right thumb to be able to control the camera, which I never really liked the feel of, or you used the D-pad, or you smashed L the way I used to on PSP to keep the camera where you wanted it. And, oh man, it was rough. So it's good to have good camera controls back. But yeah, so it was tough for me to really, really, truly enjoy the original Monster Hunter because the controls were so horrible. I still played it. I still liked it. Obviously, I stuck with the series. But when we didn't get DOS in the US, I don't even know if we got G. I didn't play G, I don't think. So my original experience with Monster Hunter was the base original game that only had low rank and high rank. And then my next experience was Freedom on the PSP, which was just I don't want to call it a remake of G, because it wasn't an exact remake. Did I remember to carve the tail? Ooh, did I remember to carve the tail? I guess while I wait for him to wander away, I'll go check. It wasn't an exact remake because there was no online town. It was all offline and ad hoc local. And so you did your multiplayer quests from a guild hall in the main village, whereas in the original Monster Hunter and Monster Hunter G, there was Mindguard Town, which was the online town. And pretty much every, well, except for, funny, World didn't do it either, but most of the console versions of the Monster Hunter games always had an online town instead of just a guild hall within the town that you play the offline in. So Monster Hunter G had Mindguard. And I got to play a little bit of online with the original Monster Hunter when I went over to friends' houses, but I at home did not have good enough internet to be able to play online when I was at my own house, so I didn't have a lot of experience with Mindguard, which is too bad. Yeah, so original Monster Hunter was kind of it's still a good game. It's very hard to truly enjoy because of poor controls. There's also a lot less weapons. It wasn't until Monster Hunter DOS that's when Longsword, Bow, Hunting Horn, and Gunlance got added. I believe those are the ones that were added for it. And then, which since we didn't get DOS over here, we actually didn't get those weapons until Monster Hunter Monster Hunter Freedom 2, or Monster Hunter Portable 2 is what it was called in Japan. And so after Monster Hunter, the original game, my next experience, I believe, was Monster Hunter Freedom. I don't think I played G. I don't even remember if we got Monster Hunter G in the US, but I don't think I played it. If I did, it wasn't my copy. It would have been a friend's copy. So my second experience was Monster Hunter Freedom, which was just basically Monster Hunter G on the PSP, and no Mindguard Town. Instead, you just went into a gathering hub within the Kokoto village. Then after that was Freedom 2, and Freedom 2 is where the game really clicked with me because, first of all, the Longsword was added, which I've been playing Longsword since Freedom 2. It's always been my main. I played Hammer, Greatsword, and Lance in the original game because, again, we actually in the US had something the Japanese didn't in our original Monster Hunter. We had a few dual blades in it. I never really used them, but we did have a few dual blades. The Japanese players actually didn't get dual blades until G. But in any case, so Freedom 2 is where we were able to use the new weapons in the US. So I picked up Longsword then, and that's partially why I love Monster Hunter as much as I did. And why it finally clicked is because the combat style that Longsword has is just way more my style of play than any of the other weapons in the game. It's why I really don't switch to other weapons at all, is because they just don't click as well, and they just don't play the way that I want. I'll try out other weapons every now and then just for fun. I mean, I used to play a lot of bow as a means to get through some things that like longsword just was not good for in the older games, but now with World and all the adjustments weapons have had, I really don't need to use anything else to do any content. But longsword really is just why the game finally truly clicked. Always had, like I said, I know I've repeated this a couple times, but I enjoyed Monster Hunter, but it just wasn't as good. It was tough to really enjoy because of the controls and the way it was set up, and Freedom 2 changed all that. I didn't do the claw that a lot of people did, which was taking your thumb and putting it on the little thumb pad on the PSP, and then using your index finger and curling it up to touch the left and right on the D-pad to change the camera around. I never did that. Instead, I just would hit L a lot to keep the camera behind my hunter and would use that as a means to rotate the camera. It worked pretty well for me. And then obviously after Freedom 2 was Freedom Unite. That was actually funny. I didn't realize it was coming out, and then I saw a commercial for it, and I went out to the GameStop that was closest to me, and I said, hey, I want to pre-order this game. I want to get it when it comes out. And they're like, oh, well, it comes out tomorrow. We've got these demos. Do you want a demo? And so I literally saw the commercial the day before the game came out, didn't realize it was the day before the game came out, went out, paid for it, got a demo disc, played the demo for a day, and then the next day went out and picked up the game, threw it in my PSP, loaded up my Freedom 2 save, and converted it to Freedom Unite, and then just started playing Freedom Unite. It was, oh god, it was simpler times, great times. After Freedom Unite, which Freedom Unite until World, I think is the Monster Hunter I had the most hours in. I still have my PSP around somewhere, so I'd be able to look at the file and see how many hours I have. It's gotta be over 1,000. And it was, while World and Iceborne are easily my favorite Monster Hunter game, like, there's no competition there. Like, none of the other Monster Hunter games even come close anymore. Freedom Unite, part of the reason I had so many hours and why it was kind of the, I would say the prime for me for the longest time, was because I actually had people to play with. I had two friends that I actually played Freedom Unite with, and so that made it a lot easier to put a ton of hours in, because we'd all be like, oh, you want to just sit down and play Monster Hunter, and we'd play for hours and hours and hours. And even if I wasn't playing it, they might be like, hey, you want to load up Monster Hunter and play Monster Hunter, and I'd switch to Monster Hunter. So I ended up having over 1,000 hours in Freedom Unite. But after that was Portable Third, which we didn't get in the US, but I imported. I have both the PSP version and the PS3 version. That one didn't get a G rank expansion though. Oh wait, no, next wasn't Portable Third. That's right. I'm sorry, I skipped one. After Freedom Unite was Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii. And I remember the cool, I guess I shouldn't call them cool, the goofy commercials they made to try and promote that game in the West. They were fun commercials. I liked Ironbeard. I thought it was fun. But that came out on the Wii. And I remember getting a Wii Pro controller. I think that's what they were called. No, it was Classic controller. It was called a Classic controller. I got a Wii Classic controller for Monster Hunter because I didn't want to use the terrible nunchuck and Wiimote combination. I wanted an actual controller. So I remember getting that bundle for Tri. And oh man, that game was a lot of fun. That's the game that introduced the Spirit Roundhouse Slash for the longsword. That's when we started getting the ability to build the gauge from nothing to white to yellow to red. Before that, all you had was the Spirit combo, and the Spirit combo ended after the little flurry of attacks. There was no finisher, so that added the finisher. But it also removed a bunch of weapons. It didn't have the gun lance, the bow, the hunting horn. Yeah, I think those three were removed, but it did have the switch axe, and I think it was the only game that had medium bow guns, because the way you did bow guns, instead of just making a bow gun, you had 3 different parts that you'd put together to make the bow gun, and each part had a weight and stuff to it, and if you fell within a certain amount of weight, you would get a light, medium, or heavy bow gun, and it did not go over well, so they didn't use that system ever again. I liked it. I thought it was a cool system, but I mean, I get why I get why they got rid of it, and medium bowgun never came back either. And Try had an online town, which I did get to spend a lot of time in, because by then I actually was at a place that had good internet, and that was Lochlac. And so that was a desert city, which was kind of like, if I remember correctly, Mindguard was kind of a desert city too, but Mindguard was a desert city in just the fact that it was just kind of like bland colors and it was a dirt ground, whereas Lochlac was a true desert because it was right next to the Great Desert where the Gen Moran swam around. And one of the most fun things was when you'd load up the game and there'd be this giant sandstorm going on in Lochlac, and that told you that the high rank Gen Moran quest was going on. And so everyone would just start doing that quest, and you'd be farming it. That was a lot of fun. Fun lore fact: when the servers went offline and Lochlac was no more, there was a sandstorm going on. So people have this theory that the Gen Moran destroyed Lochlac, and that's why we haven't seen it ever again. Because, well, we'll get into that in a moment. And I know, just because I can't do another quest because of the stutter, that's why I'm just talking about this, and this is a lot of fun to talk about. But, yeah, so Try was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the servers went offline, similar to the original Monster Hunter and Monster Hunter G, which of course meant that you no longer had access to high rank, which kind of stinks. So Try, if you ever play Try on the Wii, if you want to check it out, all you have is low rank. It's the same with the original Monster Hunter. Whereas all the portable titles, everything's in the game, and you can technically solo everything, so you can go through low rank through G rank in Freedom 2. Well, Freedom 2 doesn't have G rank, but Freedom 2, Freedom Unite, you can go through low rank through high rank / G rank, depending on which one you're playing. But the console ones, unfortunately, because they have servers instead of local, once the servers go off, you lose access to high rank, which stinks. Which is one of the things I like about World and Iceborne, is the fact that they're still local. So you don't have to worry about servers going offline and not having access to content. The only content you lose is event quests. Anyway, continuing. So after Try was Portable Third. So Portable Third was a Japan-only release. It was only low rank and high rank, similar to Try. It has some of the coolest, well, it has one of the coolest villages and some of the coolest aesthetics, and it was a very Eastern style game. The town was kind of very Japanese style, and it had a hot spring similar to Saliana's hot spring, except instead of eating at the canteen, you'd go and sit in the hot spring and drink a drink, and that's how you would get your health and stamina boost before quests, as well as skills. So that was fun and pretty cool. That's also where Zinogre was introduced, was in Portable Third. Zinogre was actually the flagship for that one. I haven't really been talking about the flagships. I was just thinking if I should go back and talk about them, but I'm not going to worry about it since I haven't at this point. But so Portable Third was fun. I did import that for PSP and the PS3. I had a lot of fun with it. It was tough because I don't know Japanese, and everything was in Japanese, so I had to kind of... I didn't get to follow any of the story, like, at all, because I couldn't read it. And for skills, I had to print off a long list of things so that I could look at the skill in the game and then look at the sheet, and it would be like, oh, that's fire attack. Oh, that's weakness exploit. Oh, that's handicraft. Like, it made things take a lot longer, but it was a lot of fun. That game was great. And it's unfortunate it never released over here, but after that, we got Monster Hunter 3rd Ultimate, or Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, or Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate, whatever you want to call it. So that was not the Ultimate version of Portable Third. It was actually the G rank expansion to the Wii game, Monster Hunter Tri. Now, the reason that I talk about the Gen Moran destroying Lochlac is, even though Monster Hunter 3rd, God, I keep mispronouncing it, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate was the ultimate expansion for Tri. It didn't use Locklack City. Instead, when you went to the online portion of the game, it went to Tanzia Port. And the nice thing is this was a portable and console game. You could get it on 3DS or the Wii U. The only way to play online, though, was you had to have a Wii U, because you had to have the 3DS either connect to an app on the Wii U to give you internet access, or you had to play the Wii U version, which just had internet access. Now, the nice thing, because of that, is Tanzia Port's always available. If you are playing offline, you can still access Tanzia Port and access all of the G-Rank content. So once again, you had access to low rank through G-Rank, whether servers are online or not, or whether you have internet access or not. So that was good, but because they had Tanzia Port, everyone was like, well, this is the ultimate expansion to try. Why did they change the online town? And so that developed this lore that because there was a sandstorm when the server shut down, that Lochlack was destroyed by a Gen Moran, and that's why it's not around anymore, which is kind of a fun fan theory. I don't believe the developers have confirmed or denied it, so people just have fun with that. So 3 Ultimate was a lot of fun. I played that for a long time. I still was playing that when Monster Hunter 4 came out, which Monster Hunter 4 was Japan exclusive as well. I imported the game as well as a special 3DS because, in case you didn't know, the 3DS was region locked. So if I wanted to play the Japanese version of Monster Hunter 4, which there was only a Japanese version, I had to import a 3DS as well. So I decided to buy the special Monster Hunter 4 3DS, and that was, I didn't play a ton of Monster Hunter 4. I didn't enjoy dealing with the Japanese thing. Again, like, it was fun in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, but because I had people that were playing 3 Ultimate with me, even though 3 Ultimate had been out for a bit, I still enjoyed playing 3 Ultimate more than 4, because I didn't want to have to deal with the Japanese, and I didn't have people to play Monster Hunter 4 with me, and it did have an online, I believe. I believe it had online built into the 3DS, but the only people playing it were Japanese players, because I wasn't going on forums and finding English-speaking people to play with, so I didn't play a ton of 4. But when 4 Ultimate came out, which it did come out in the West, I did get the special Zinogre-themed 3DS for that, and played Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate a decent amount. And I've mentioned this before, but the endgame for 4 Ultimate is one of my least favorite endgame grinds, because I think Apex monsters are stupid. I thought it was a terrible implementation, and while I liked the Frenzy virus from 4, I didn't like the implementation of Apex monsters in 4 Ultimate. So I actually stopped playing 4 Ultimate pretty early compared to other Monster Hunter games. Like, I think 3 Ultimate I got up to like 600 hours. I told you Freedom Unite I had over 1,000. But 4 Ultimate, I think I only got into maybe the 300 hour range. So like half the time. And I played Generations. I did not ever really play Generations Ultimate. I own it. I've played it a little bit. But that one, I don't like the styles or arts. Just something about them didn't feel right for Monster Hunter. They were too flashy, and I didn't find them fun. And kind of the interesting thing with that is they didn't put arts and styles in World, but instead they just made the weapons have kind of more fluid animation. Well, I shouldn't say animations, because most of the attack animations haven't changed, but they basically took some of the good parts of arts, not so much styles, but the good parts of arts out of Generations Ultimate, and instead put them into the combos for weapons in Iceborne and World. And I actually like that better, them being a part of the weapon as opposed to something you have to pick and choose and use once a bar fills up. It just feels better to me, and it flows better, and I enjoy it. So, man, I don't know. The Generations Ultimate thing might have been kind of burnout, because I had been playing Monster Hunter for, 12 years by that point? And a lot over those 12 years, so it could have partially been burnout too, but I don't know, something about Generations and Generations Ultimate didn't really click with me, and I just never could really get into it as much as the other games. And then, you know, obviously we're here with World and Iceborne, and I have a ridiculous number of hours in because I've got... I haven't checked my PC playtime. You know, like, I don't pay attention when I'm loading it up. But between PC and PS4, which I don't play my PS4 version anymore. I'm exclusively PC because PC is just the better version. But even though PS4 has more content, oddly enough, but I just enjoy PC a lot more because it's 60 FPS and loads faster and all that fun stuff. But between the two of them, I have probably at least 1,500 hours in this game. It's ridiculous. And no other game I've ever played, not just Monster Hunter, even comes close to that number of hours. So that's pretty it's amazing. So I've been rambling enough. Hopefully I can fix whatever the stutter issue was with the video, and the next time that I record, I'm planning to do more optional quests. I might do Guiding Lands, though, because I do have a few more monsters I need to hunt in there on camera so that I can just farm before we start changing the region levels. So we'll see how I'm feeling when I get to record next. However, thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the rant. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like. You can also subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell icon, you'll get email updates when I upload new videos. And of course, you can leave any comments or suggestions in the area below the video. However, that is all I have for you today, so thank you so much for watching. And as usual, this is Xephyr, signing out.